KJ, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Hi.
It's amazing to have you. I'm going to go into 10 quick rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, number one. Well, this is always kind of 3 in 1. Your name, your age, and your profession.
Kiri Jade, 40, and I'm an event manager.
Number 2, sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Weights or cardio?
Cardio.
3 things you love.
My children, my husband, and my friends.
Love that. Number 6, do you have a favorite quote or mantra that you like to live by?
I have lots of favorite quotes. My current one is when you know better, do better.
Like that one?
Maya Angelou.
And you did, and you do, because now you know that diets don't work.
They do not.
Number 7, this is a funny one. Something that you like that others may consider strange or weird.
Oh, that is a tricky one, isn't it? I love interviews.
Oh, yeah, that's strange and weird.
I know, right? I'm a right weirdo.
What do you like about them?
I love attention. I'm just complete attention seeker, and I love. So this is great. I love this shit. Sorry, don't know if I'm allowed to.
Yes, you are.
Basically, anyone put me on the spot, and performing basically, I suppose, isn't it? Really, performing still. That may be a good one.
I love that. You're probably one of the first people that have come on that aren't like nervous.
No, yeah, I don't get nervous. I love it. So I'm just like, bring it on.
But we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of listeners, so
exciting.
Okay, number 8, 3 things that you love about yourself.
I love what a good friend I am. I love my sense of like absolute abandonment and fun. And I love that I literally will accept anyone. Like I don't have any, I try to live without any kind of, like I literally don't care who you love, what you do, where you come from, as long as you're a good person, that's it. And I just feel that more than I ever have.
I wonder why. Why do you think you feel that more than you ever have?
I think I probably had a lot of fat phobia myself and fat issues, and it's addressing those, and I akin it. I like it, something that I've always taken very dear, which is white privilege and racial equality and stuff like that, which I've been interested in, and I suppose I've been very active in that world since I was very young. I was always knew. I just had this such deep feeling of right and wrong, and how wrong it was just to not like someone essentially because of how they look. But I seem to like let that go. I applied it to everything but fat people for some bizarre reason in my head. It was like this loophole. And the work I've done with you, I think, has closed that loophole to make me realise what I was doing and why, and why that was my Achilles heel, if you will. And it feels liberating now to not have anything that would make me to really question myself. I'm not saying I don't judge, because I think that would be a lie. It's very hard for us not to judge. But when I see someone, literally my first, if a bad thought comes in, my second thing is to go, you don't know what they've gone through today, or you don't know what they're going through this week, or you don't know why they are where they are. So just shut up, take a back seat. No, it's none of your business, and you got to stay in your business. You've got to stay in their business. So it's really just that. And doing that to other people, calling it out to other people, like my husband, or if my child says something, or it's being strong enough to say, no, you don't know that narrative, you don't know what's going on there. So let's just get back in our business, because we don't know about them. So and I think even that is really powerful in itself if you keep doing it.
Yeah.
And you afford it to everyone. No question.
I love that, because when I used to gossip about people, like when I was younger, because we've all been there, we've all done it, right? We learn it from TV and all of that. I would have loved for someone to actually stand up and say, you know what, that doesn't feel right, because deep down it doesn't feel right.
No, or just give that person a break, or just, do you actually know that for sure? Why are
Yeah.
you saying this? What is this? When anyone does that, it's a projection of their issues. Like basically, literally,
Yeah.
every time someone either has a go at you or is talking about someone else, it's usually a projection of their issues. And I think understanding that as well is really liberating.
Yeah.
And yeah, this process has helped me really get my mind around that stuff as well.
I love that. And these are 5 questions, but I can't help but add this extra bit into your wisdom. It's also taking responsibility, isn't it? So when you notice that, and this is to all the listeners and the watchers, when you notice you're judging someone, whether it's me or KJ or like anyone else in the world that you live in today, that's actually, everything's a mirror. So it's an invitation to look back at yourself and being like, oh, why am I judging that about that person? It's because you're judging that about yourself. And it's just all inviting you to look at self-growth, isn't it? Always.
Yeah, and just be, I think the word curious about yourself and curious of why you're thinking and what you're saying. And I mean, one of the things that really stuck with me, and I did it this morning in the car. I suddenly thought, I don't know, I saw one of the mums at school drop or whatever, and as you do, and without even know you're doing it, and they look really like slim and like active, and I was thinking, I wonder if they like spend all morning in the gym, and I wonder if that. And I sat there, and I went, and I just said out loud, "Shut up, bitch voice." I was driving, I was like, "Shut up, bitch voice, stop being ridiculous," and that shook me out a bit. But yeah, like you call it your bitch voice, and I do too. It's like massively. Anytime I get anything negative flying around my head, or I get anything judgy, that's a bitch voice. That's anything that doesn't make me feel good. That's the bitch voice, right? So call it out, and it really helps, I think.
It really does.
Naming it, just even naming it, and just going, what are you doing now? What benefit do you have in doing this? Who wins? No one wins.
Awareness is everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's half the battle.
Yeah.
It's never fully won, but awareness is the key of all of it. Yeah, for everything.
Yeah, it is. Number 9, if you could be a mythical creature or an animal, what would it be and why?
I'd have to say a unicorn, obviously. My daughter's so unicorns are everywhere in my life. And I also love unicorns, and have always done. Just like their strength and their power, and they're quite feminine as mystical beasts go, but they're really strong and they're really powerful and they're different and they're proud of that. And yeah, they're just that's why.
I agree with that. And the last question, fast forward 10 years from now, so you'll be 50.
Thanks for that, Victoria. That reminder there.
Fast forward 10 years back from now, and you're looking back. So you're already in the future and you're looking back at your 40-year-old self now.
Yeah.
The gap between you being 40 and 50, what are you most proud of?
I'm going to be really proud of how I showed my children to show up in this world and to stand up and to call out crap and call out badness and to just basically good kind people. I only want them to, like, as you know, I mean, everyone says their children are their everything, but I feel more than that. I feel like they're it's so my responsibility to make sure, one, that I show them. So it's all about what I show them. It's all about what I tell them, what I show them, what we show them, me and my husband. But I'm very instructive in, like, when they say things that I don't agree with, or they say, and I say, well, what do you think? I'm very encouraging them thinking about these things and talking about them. And I feel like more than ever, how instructive, how you act as a person, they see absolutely every single thing that you do. And I'm not proud of what I've done or how I've been in the last 10 years. I know there's not much point in being that feeling, but it's true, and it will instruct how I'm going to act, which is completely opposite, which is, you know, I never want to I never want to hear good food, bad food in my house. I never want my little girl to be on a diet like I was. I'm breaking the chain. I'm standing up and going, no, it's a generational thing. My mum was on a diet. My nan was on a diet. That's it. It's done. It's over. It belongs to a different era, and I'm over it. And I'm not showing that to my children. And I'm also showing my son like how women should be treated, who women are, how bloody amazing we all bloody are. And I want him to be a feminist, and I want him to be all these things. And the only way you get children to be those things is you don't push, you can't make, you can just show. So 10 years time.
Literally full body shivers as you're speaking, like mic drop to all of that.
10 years time, I just want to look back, and they're their own people. They're their own people. They've got their own little soul journeys to go on. But if I can look back and go, I did my best to show them the best way that I know how, then that's all I can do. And that's all I want to do. So yeah.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And let's go back in time now. So let's go back in time. What's it been? 4 months? God, is that all?
Yeah. God, is that all?
Wow. Go back in time 4 months to when we first had our consultation. I'm laughing only because you will laugh with me. What was you like? Why did you come to me? What was you struggling with like 4 months ago?
I think I'd hit a place that I knew I couldn't carry on anymore. I just couldn't carry on hating myself to the level I was hating myself. And I couldn't carry on counting every step I took, counting every calorie I ate, I just knew I was missing out. I knew there was something more. I knew I was better than this. I know I was better than this, but I just couldn't make the connection to how I could become better than this. How I couldn't see a way out. I just couldn't. And then I was sort of Googling, I listened to a lot of things. I was working for the Commonwealth Games, so I was traveling up to Birmingham quite a bit, which meant I was listening to podcasts, which, to be honest, I'd never done before. And I was listening to podcasts, and I found this one, which was kind of about intuitive eating. It's my first kind of glimpse into that kind of world. It didn't suit me because it was very much diet, these very sneaky things that seem like they're talking about, but they're not really. They're talking about she was like your coach, and at one point I knew to turn it off because she went, as your friend I'm going to say, yeah, let's sit down and eat a tub of Halo, but as your coach I'm going to say, no, let's go out for that run. And I was like, yeah.
Oh my God. And that was on an intuitive eating podcast.
And I was like, yeah, I'm out.
And can I just say, why are you eting Halo and not Ben and Jerry's?
Exactly. That was the point that pissed me off more than anything. Isn't that sad? I was like, wait, if you want to see fucking Halo, Ben and Jerry's, who cares? But Halo, when did Halo become bad? But yeah, no, that point did annoy me more than anything else. But yeah, so I was like, yeah, no, this isn't for me. And then I generally can't remember how I found you. I was just kind of looking around on Google and looking at coaches, and then came across the website and the Body Love Binge, and I love the kind of play on words and stuff like that. It appeals to me. And then yeah, there was something. I like Northerners. I seem to gravitate towards the Northerners. I'm married to one. A lot of my close friends are Northerners, and so the Northern accent and the swearing was always good for me.
Oh yeah.
Love a bit of swearing, love a bit of Northern accent, and yeah, and it was just that matter of fact thing. And as soon as I kind of read like, there's no rules, that's it, let go. That for me was so important for me to do. Yeah. It wasn't like, yes, now let's intuitive eat and like gauge what you are on a scale, because that for me it works. For me it freaks me in the hell out, my eating disordered voice, whatever you want to call it. I just start freaking out. I'm just like, no, I can't stop counting again or working things out again. I can't go back to the numbers world. I have to just not. And I haven't gotten away in scales since I think I started talking to you. And that was massively beneficial.
Huge. And also, if you don't mind sharing like what you actually had, I know you're having an operation to have this taken.
Yeah. So
because that was like huge.
Yeah, so it was insane, really. I mean, this is what I put myself through. But in 2009, actually I lie, in 2008, I think I was working on the London Olympic Games, and I found this, God knows how I found this shit. I was so depressed about my weight. I was so like, I was held myself back. like, and I was fun, I was out partying, I was like doing fun, but I just hated myself so much. And I never really, I always had boyfriends. I never really, like, it's not like I was socially awkward. I was brilliant. Like, I loved being social, but it was just this thing that I just thought, if I could just get that body, then I'd have everything, you know, everything would be solved. Everything would be all right. I just had that. So I went to lengths that were just insane. So I went and got this balloon fitted first. And I can't remember what it's called now, the official name, but it's a balloon. So they put it in your stomach, and it was hell. I mean, it was 6 months of throwing up. It was basically like, and it's not permanent, it's only like 9 months you have it in. And yeah, I lost a lot of weight because I couldn't eat and I could barely drink, and it was awful. And I did that, but that wasn't enough to put me off because I'm stupid. I then looked back for something more permanent, which was a gastric band. Now you have to be a certain BMI, and so BMI is crap, but you have to be a certain BMI and weight, whatever, in England to be considered. Like, no private practice will even consider you. I won't use numbers of weights, I don't want to trigger anyone, but yeah, I was never that big. So I had to go to Prague, and they don't give a crap because you're giving them money, don't care. I mean, a lot of the doctors go, why are you doing this? They did say that to me a lot. And I was just like, well, I want to. And they went, all right then, you know, you're paying us. So they put this gastric band in me, and then that's kind of sparked off, you know, the next decade of basically insanity. Like, it's what I did to myself, like how the throwing up, the not eating, the part of it being the band, part of it being me, that just constant battle with my body and eating and drinking. Sorry, it was just, it just enhanced everything. And I think I felt like a fraud because I'd lost the weight. For people like, well, you've lost this, and I didn't tell a lot of people I'd had it done. I didn't tell my family, and I just flew over on my own, just went over on my own and got it done. A completely unnecessary surgery in the name of God knows what. And yeah, and it became, you know, it's basically, and it's still in me, unfortunately. I had 2 babies during that course of time, but I even put myself through, like with Noah, my first child, I even tried to get through with my band on because I was so scared of putting on weight. I tried to get through with my band in, and it's fucking insanity. I was ill. I was so ill. I had to go to hospital. They put me, because I was dehydrated. Because the bigger the baby got, the more it pushed my band, and the more I couldn't eat or drink. So my poor fucking baby, and I was like, this is the insanity it's pushed me through. And I was so scared of putting on weight. And then the doctor came and got so it's like a band around your stomach, and you can inflate it or deflate it. So the doctor deflated it. So I had a normal pregnancy from then on. And I know some people listening to this will think, how could you have done that? That's really selfish, because the first thing you want to do is put your baby first. And it was, but my deep-seated fear of gaining weight was just so intense that I didn't know how to deal with it. And but when my second child, Daisy, I got it taken out straight away. But then when Daisy came out, I'd put on like 4.5 stone. I was bigger than I've ever been in my life. And I got the band filled up literally like within 2 weeks of her being born. And I quickly starved myself down 4 stone, like very quickly. And I was so proud of myself. And you get all these pats on the back, and you get all this validation for getting back post baby weight, all this bollocks, or yeah. Oh, isn't it good you haven't I've got that a lot. Isn't it good you haven't let yourself go when you've had kids? And that, I got that a lot, even from friends. Like, I got that a lot. And you know, you then think you're wearing this badge of honor, right? Like, you've done this. They've got no idea what you're doing to do this, and then it becomes this badge of honor. So then you can't let it slip, right? You can't let it slip, because then you've let yourself go, and then you've let down all those people that think they don't really give a shit, but that you've let down all those people. So I just put myself through it. I was eating 800 calories most days, and then trying to run as well, trying to do stuff. and it was just insane.
Is that what state you was in, like when you came to me? And remember during the consultation call, it was the morning, I think, and you was drinking like a meal replacement shake. And I remember saying to you, that fucking shake's going. If you sign with me, you are no longer going to be drinking your meals.
I remember that very well. Yeah, I've thrown them all out.
And
because I read it, the bucket book, when I'm sure, like, I remember this is quite a funny bit when she said, if you've got any meal replacement, got any of that shit, she went, I don't know, throw it out. She went, give it to homeless. She went, actually, that's not fair, don't give it to homeless, they don't need that in their lives. And I was like, that's so true. I wouldn't even give this to someone I didn't like God's sake, get it out of my house.
And how long did it take you when we started coaching? Because thank God coaching was aligned, and thank God we worked together.
Yeah.
How long was it? I can't remember exactly, until you had the whole band like deflated, so it was almost like you didn't have it in again. Like, how long was it until
pretty quickly? It was about three weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And I just knew I'd done some of the work and sort of put some work in. I was like, yeah, I can't do this with with the restriction, with the physical restriction of not being able to eat what I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat it. I thought I can't do this. So I had to go and wait in a hospital for like 12 hours and get all the liquid taken out. And now I'm waiting to have it removed. So I'm on a list to have it actually removed by the NHS. So sometimes I still have some effects from it, but not that badly. But I'm very looking forward to having nothing there, nothing to mess me up, nothing to, so.
When you first said yes and we started coaching, I think this is a really important question. Did you think it would, I'm using quotes for the podcast, work for you? So this process, we've had this 2-hour call, I'm there like a shiny bright light promising you, like, you can, food freedom is possible for you, body love is possible for you, and it's almost like too good to be true. When you did say yes and sign, like, what was going through your mind? Did you think this could work for you? Did you believe me with what I was sharing?
I couldn't really believe you, because I couldn't really see a life without all those rules, without all those assumptions, without all that was so much outside of my sphere, that it was just trusting you, that I trusted you. There was something about you that I trusted. And I thought, I've been in counselling since I was 19, and it's been very, very beneficial on lots of levels, but it's never really tackled any of my food issues or my eating issues. Which is strange, because a lot of it's tied to my childhood, so it's very but it never has really tackled that, because maybe because I didn't allow it to, maybe because I kept it to myself because I didn't want it to be fixed. And I think I needed something to be specifically for this. It couldn't approach my shit from any other way. It had to be for this, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying I completely believed you, but I believe that you believed it.
Yes, right? The power of belief.
I believe that you believed it, and that was enough for me to think, I'm going to take a bet on this, because she really believes it, and I'm in a fucking shitload of pain, and I need to sort this out, and I can't carry on like this. I can't do this to my daughter. So I was like, no, this has to happen. So yeah, it wasn't that I kind of like, you don't get like a massive like neon light moment and you suddenly go, oh yeah, well, this is completely possible. Because this shit has been done to you since you were 5. Like this world is in your head since you were 5. I mean, so it doesn't come that easy. It takes work. It takes doing your modules. It takes reading all the resources and listening to podcasts and educating yourself, re-educating yourself, rebuilding your brain and that stuff. So yeah, I didn't believe I could live like this, but I had to believe something else was possible. So I think that's the best way.
I am so grateful that you did, because I would love you to share now, how is your relationship with food and your body now?
Oh, my relationship with food it's brilliant. Like I'm not I don't really think about food much at all, which is strange in itself. And it's like you relearn, it's like you're relearning. I was put on a diet when I was 9, so my food, people sort of say, oh, you're kind of rediscovering your relationship with food. I was like, I can't remember. a relationship with food before diet came along. I literally have no memory of it. So I might be rediscovering it, but I have no memory of it. So things that I like or don't like, or that feel good in my body or don't feel good in my body, I'm relearning or I'm discovering for the first time. So it's quite it's still to this day, like, and sometimes I question, like, oh, I haven't eaten that, or I haven't eaten like this, or I haven't eaten like a meal, or I've snacked. I don't know, but then I think I've just done what I wanted to do. And when you say like eating should feel like breathing, it should, in the sense of there shouldn't be that much thought going into it, like, and then you should just, like, once it's done, just don't, that's it. And what I don't do now is when I suppose I just don't, I mean, it's so weird to have gone from such a restrictive eating pattern and eating disorder, or whatever you want to call it. To suddenly going, sod it, I'm just going to eat what I fancy eating whenever I want to eat it. I won't say I'm 100%. I don't think you can be cured. It's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. I think I always will be. But, you know, there's still like a lot of the old food demons, like chocolate or something. But I still give myself permission to have it. And sometimes that means sometimes I eat things when I don't really want them. And I realise only afterwards, oh, I didn't really want it. But I don't beat myself up about it. I just go, oh, yeah, okay, never mind, move along. Yeah, and it's just really kind of, basically, the main thing for me was, I think you said, the stakes are low, and that's a really, really important message for me. The whole point is, even if you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, I should have eaten more of that, whatever you feel, because sometimes you can't turn that off. You're working to, but you might not be able to. But the main thing is to remember the stakes are low, because it's just food.
Yes,
food. That's all it is. And I think that message to me is more important. If there's anyone out there who's like me, who's not managing to, I don't always manage to stop that chatter in my head, or to, you know, always fight that very well, but I do manage to go, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. The stakes are low, and there's so many things in life where the stakes are high.
Yeah.
That it's really liberating. The stakes are low on this. This shit doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter.
And it really doesn't, but the whole world around us make us think that it does, since we were literally born, because they get money out of us thinking the stakes are very high and we need to get our food and bodies right in order to be happy and loved.
I think one of the most brilliant things that I felt at the beginning, I remember I felt so angry. It was good anger, but I was so fucking angry. And it's like, I'm not a stupid person. And I was like, I put shitloads of money into this diet industry, and obviously the gastric bags, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. And what could I have done with that money? Like, I want my fucking money back. What a load of bollocks. Like, these people, they set you up to fail. That is literally what they're doing. There is no, I don't know how I could have thought about it another way. Of course they are. Like, what they're perpetuating, what they're selling you is something that's not attainable. And if it is attainable, then you have to stay there and pay there to attain it. And then if you slip back, you have to pay again to get it. It's insane. It's insane. And I did it for so many, all my life. And if I could get, like, I was walking past these ladies one day, and they were all going, there were new mums with their pushchairs going into Slimming World. And I honestly, I had this image of me with a billboard and like standing outside going, don't do it.
Protesting.
And literally, I was on the bench. I was like, oh my God, I just wanted to stop them all. Probably breastfeeding still. I was like wanting to stop them all and say, get the fuck back home and go and enjoy your baby. Like it's insane, but it is what it is. And now I know.
And we get to change the world, right?
Exactly. Every little bit by the time, every bit you can give to someone. Some people aren't ready to hear it. Some people don't want to hear it. But, you know, it's not like I'm preaching hate, for God's sake. I'm just preaching, like, just don't do it. Just give yourself a break. Just, like, it's not important.
It's
take
not.
It off the menu. Like, there's so many other things to take our time with. And I find it really interesting. Sorry to keep going. I find it really interesting how I read the one that anyone who's listening, and the Brené Brown, My Body Is Not an Apology, but also she did a short podcast about, it was a really interesting idea, it was, I could see the hierarchy and the fact that this whole diet, it plays into this culture and hierarchy of essentially the white male on top, and then the white thing, and then the black thing, and this like, it plays into a racial and economic even pyramid, and you're playing into it by doing this. You are playing into it, and that was a bit where I really got angry. I was like, fuck's sake, I've been playing into this shit. I've been absolutely playing into. I'm out. I was just like, that's it, I'm out. I'm not doing that.
I'm getting off the fucking ladder.
Yeah, I'm just getting off this shit. It's a ladder. Yeah, I'm getting off the ladder. Ladder is not okay, and I don't want to see anyone else I love on the ladder. But I also can't push them off the ladder. I just have to talk to them, tell them what I think. Maybe they'll think about coming off the ladder, but it's very hard, isn't it? Taking the blue pill, coming out of the matrix. But
exactly that.
What it is, unplugging yourself from the bullshit.
100%. And I want to offer anyone listening who really resonates with the anger and affirmation. I don't know if I offered this one to you or not. It's a really powerful one. I think I did. I'm offering the affirmation, and that is, I am no longer willing to contribute to my own oppression.
Oh, I like it.
Because that's what we're doing when we're buying into diet culture and buying into comparison.
Exactly what it is.
And judging other women. We're buying into that ladder of hierarchy where the white man's at the top.
Oh yeah. And they're winning. They're winning all the way. And the people, if you look at all these diets, white men created all these diets. And then in the Victorian period, we're all supposed to be very slim. And why is that? Oh, it's because women's rights came along. If you keep us sick enough and small enough and quiet enough, we're not going to make any noise. We're not going to ask for our rights. And if you're hungry, you're not going to be in Laslow's period of need. You're not going to, if you're hungry, you're not going to be thinking about, hold on a minute, why don't I have a right to say what I think or vote? Or if we keep people hungry, then what can it mean? It was done in the Middle Ages to the poor, and it's been done to women. Like, let's keep them hungry and more preoccupied with actually living, getting through the day. And then they've got no space in their head to deal with things like, I don't know, a vote or a voice, or actually being a part of this community. Like, and it's so clear to me now, like, because as anyone knows, when you're in that diet world and you're in that, it takes the amount of time, the amount of headspace you give up, intelligent, successful women give up to this vacuous subject, it's infuriating and it's terrifying. And what we could be without, like, funny that they don't want to find that out.
Like, they don't want to find out. Sister, like, seriously.
Why would they want to find it out? They're not going to, turkeys don't vote for Christmas, do they? Like, they're not going to want to find it out.
That is so fucking true. You mentioned, you know, I literally want you to be on stage just like preaching this shit, because
I feel quite evangelical about it. I
do all of that. But you mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that you really deeply struggled with like self-hate and your body image, like since you can remember. How do you feel in your body now? Like, how has that improved since this work?
I'll be honest with you, it's still I still struggle with a lot of it. I still struggle with not being able to wear clothes that I could wear before, not having. I struggle with a lot of it, but I'm being curious as to why I struggle with it and why that's important to me and what actually that means. So what was important to me was exposure therapy, which Victoria said about, which is basically seeing friends and family that you haven't seen all the time. And the fact that no one really says anything anyway, no one really gives a shit anyway. And even if they do, they might mention it passing and then carry on with their lives. And everyone's more concerned about their own stuff. Like, people don't really care if you put on weight or not. They really, really don't. And if they love you, they just, all I've had from everyone I love is, oh my God, I'm so glad you look so much better. You look so much healthier. And you don't look like you're about to fall over. And you're not shaking all the time, because I was shaking all the time and I couldn't sit down. I didn't sit down. I was like, oh, like that all the time. They were like, my friend actually said to me, she was like, it's like you've been like woken up or something, like you're here, and that was really hard to hear, because it's like, you don't want to think you weren't there for 10 years. I don't think that's strictly true, but I do understand what she means. I was always panicking about, food and weight and what I looked like, and what they were thinking about how I looked in this swim question right now. These are my people I've known since I was 4. They couldn't give a fuck what size I was or what I look like or don't look like. They couldn't give a shit. Like, they just care that I'm happy. And that's the truth for most people, really. If you think about what you think about people, if you think about what do I care about that person, I don't think you'll ever say, I care that she's thin. I care that my friend is thin. Why would anyone say that?
All that people are mainly doing is looking at a thin person and then wanting to look like that thin person because society celebrates thinness.
Exactly. They're not saying, but for a friend, it's not something you'd wish.
No.
It's not something you put on a, if you wish certain things, what can I wish for my friend? And my friends are very important in my family. And what can I wish for my friends? I would never put, oh, I wish my friend could be slim, or no, I would never wish that for my friends. So why am I wishing it for myself?
Yeah, exactly. And I love how you said you're approaching any like body image negative trigger as curiosity, like, wait, who's profiting off this insecurity? Why perhaps do I feel this way?
Yeah.
Do you hate yourself anymore?
I think the whole who's it serving and who's it, I still find mirrors quite tricky. I still find I still want to look nice. I still want to wear nice clothes and look nice when I go out. I do want that. And the revelation for me is when I got some bigger clothes and I went out and I did look nice. And it was like, it wasn't like you suddenly turn into this massive monster or anything. Like,
yes,
I do look nice. I can go out and look nice. I equally don't wear makeup most of the time, and I don't really fuss that much. I never have done, in all honesty, but it was easier to do that when I was in a smaller body. Things can be easier, and I don't think there's any like problem in admitting what was easy and what isn't easy. Certain things are easier when you're in a smaller body, but it's a payoff, isn't it? How much easier were they compared to what I have gained? Well, there's no competition. There's no competition. The fact that it was easier to, I don't know, get a pair of jeans that look nice quickly, compared to food freedom and raising my children in the right way and doing the things I'm doing and feeling strong, that it doesn't even compete. So there are definitely challenges in this world, in this diet phobic world, in this we buy clothes, we all go to supermarkets, you can't switch stuff off from that, but you can, at the very worst, look at it and go, well, what am I in loop? Would I go back?
Would you go back?
No, never.
And do you now hate yourself, or do you now love yourself?
I definitely don't hate myself. I'm neutral about myself a lot. I'm working towards loving myself. I know that's probably not.
There's no right or wrong. Like all
no right or wrong.
4 months ago, right?
Yeah, it's my truth. I find the mirror work still extremely hard, to sit in front of a mirror and sort of help, like, be positive about myself. And there was a poem you sent through about divorcing your body, and that is very much what I've done in my life. And my mind is it's easier to like, I find it easier to what's the word, intellectualize it. So I find it easier to work it all out in my mind and feel very strong in my mind. But as soon as I hit that mirror, I have an issue. And I know I still need to get over it, and I know I've signed up to your 5-day program, and I know, like, it's something I know I will get there. I feel like I will get there. I'm not there yet, but I'm questioning all the time why I'm not there and what it is, and why there's that something that when you get a push against anything, when you have a feel and you hit a wall, so you're hitting the walls of your reality, and I get, and that's my wall of reality. my mirror image for some reason is my wall of reality, and I get resistance, and I know I'm getting resistance, and I'm saying, why? What is this about? Why am I getting this resistance? So I'm questioning that. I'm pushing against it. I'm working out why. I certainly know it's not a reason to go back. Hell no. Like, no.
It's just inviting another layer up to heal and to know yourself better and to work through the painful feelings from all the past since you were born, before even 9. Everything that's been like had the door shut on and you've not understood and you don't know how to feel, it's all coming up now, and it's through the body, because obviously we diet to try and manipulate our bodies. So there's a lot of suppression here and restriction. And I see now, I mean, I hardly get any, I would say very fleetingly, I get like a negative body image thought. And when I do, I'm so grateful. It does take a while to get to this place, because I'm like, oh, there's something else that's like ready to be healed. I wonder what that is. So just like an offer to you, like as you're going through this curiosity with the mirror and things, add that extra layer of curiosity with kindness, like, oh, I wonder what's ready to be healed now.
Yeah.
That's really helpful to do it like that as well, to heal whatever is coming up for you.
Yeah. I'd like to heal it. It feels like a very scary amount of stuff, I'll be honest. So it's kind of, I know I need to open Pandora's box and not, but I feel like I've come such a long way, and I will continue to keep doing it. But yeah, I've lost track of where we are on questions.
No, we're perfect. And my next question is, what was your favorite thing about the coaching process? Was it the modules? Was it the calls? Was it the WhatsApp? Was it your own internal journey that you went on with yourself? Like, what was it for you?
I love the group calls. I do love the group calls. I feel like there's nothing the same as getting, well, ideally everyone in a room, but I mean, you know, everyone in one space and seeing the intelligence and the level of like intuitivity of these women, and these strong, powerful women. And you think they've all gone through this, they're all doing the same things, they're all getting the same narrative ahead, which kind of validates everything that, you know, because a lot of mine was, oh, I must be really stupid to be like this. I must be really like, you know, doing yourself down. And then when you see other people in the same space, you're like, no, not. We're all a victim in some sense to it all. And that doesn't, and everyone plays their part. I'm not a big fan of being a victim of anything, but you play your part. It serves you, otherwise you wouldn't have done it. But yeah, everyone, that's what I loved being part of the coaching course. I also like having you and having been able to WhatsApp you and sort of say when I've had really crazy moments, and kind of even just to write that message, like regardless of sometimes if even you read it, like it was just to write it down. And when you write it down, it's out of you, and then it's on something, and you read it and you go, okay, yeah, that's what it was. So it's finding your trigger points and working out why you felt like that, and then having someone to reach out to like yourself to say, why do I suddenly feel like this? And then you'll ask the questions and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I feel like that. I don't think I could have done this on my own without support. I don't think I was, some people might be able to, you know, they might have stumbled across all the body positive movement or the intuitive or whatever floats your boat, but I don't personally. I needed connection. I need people. I need to understand it on a very personal level for it to work for me. So that's why I did.
And you know what you shared about you were thinking you were perhaps stupid, and then the group had
really,
you know, honestly, the women that are listening to this, watching this, the women that I work with, and you know, they are the most intelligent, determined, strong-willed women that I know, because we're perfectionists, because we're all or nothing. We get everything else like nailed down, and then this food thing is like a kryptonite.
They're like, this, it's my Achilles heel. It's the one thing I can't control. It's this. And we make it into this, we put so much on it. We make it boogeyman, we make it one thing you can't fix and one thing you can't work through. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's because bullshit. Imagine without that, what are we? We're just fucking powerful, aren't we?
So freaking powerful.
Because like we've got no other hurdle.
That's it.
We're not beholden to anyone, including the diet industry. So
amen.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. How did you, this is a big question, because this can hold a lot of people back, the investment. So how did you feel about investing in yourself?
Okay, so crazily, this was the worst time of my life to put this money. Right?
Yeah.
I was just about to be out of the job because I was on a contract, moving house. I've been in a lot better positions financially, but that, I think, says how much I needed it, because it came to me. I didn't even really, and I showed my husband, said, look, this is what it is, and he went, if you need to do it, do it. Like, he saw how unhappy I was, and he was like, if you need to do it, do it. I just want you to be happy. And I was doing it anyway, really, regardless of what he said, in all honesty. I'd already made up my mind. Because if you offer me, I suppose in the past you've seen that I've spent lots of money on things that are like gastric going away because I'm looking for a fix, or I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for that. And I suppose maybe at first I thought it was done in that vein, but it was done because there's no price on this feeling. There's no price on body love. There's no price on, even if you're not there, even if you're not 100% there, even if you're like me, you're not doing everything. Some of the modules might not resonate with you. Some of them may absolutely resonate with you, like I found. But the leadership, the meeting of the other women, the all of it, for me, it was essential. And the money was hard to justify, but actually now I think, well, no, lots of people would go on a holiday, or lots of people would, I don't know, buy a car. I don't care about any of this. It's so much more important that I actually can function and eat and live and be happy. And like that, it doesn't really, I mean, I'm privileged to be able to do that. Like, there's loads of women who aren't in that position, and I'm privileged to be able to do it. So I feel very grateful to have been able to do it. But the money is worth it a million times over. I just don't even think, I've never questioned it since I did it. So
I'm so happy to hear that.
Which is the main thing.
And what would you say to someone who was sat listening to this? Perhaps they are in a position that they could invest. Or the other option is the group, right? You've shared how important the group is. That's another option that is nowhere near as.
No, so you can do the group.
Yeah.
I would also say, not to put you out of business, Victoria, but I would also say, educate yourself, go on Instagram, go on, like, and Victoria's brilliant. She'll show you like where you can go and learn, and where you can go. And it's that spirit of wanting people to do this, right? Not on a monetary level, or not on a, like, you want this for people because it's the best thing for people. And you've been clever enough to make a business out of it. But you also understand that, by sharing a document of listed of things that people can read and do. I mean, that in itself is brilliant. Like, for someone like me, because I just go, oh, brilliant, I'll read that, and that, and that. And if you don't need guidance, if you're not the kind of person that needs guidance, then maybe that's enough for you. And that is all you needed. You just needed that. So I think it's whatever suits you. But for me, I needed the coaching. I needed the one-to-one. I needed the hand holding. I needed the, I suppose, counselling of a sense. So that's what worked for me. But there are other options if you can't spend that money.
There are.
To be a part of that world.
I mean, one option is obviously, if you're watching or listening this, you already are in my world, but my podcast, like, I give so much value with love in my podcast. And then the group coaching is an option, which, KJ feels is really valuable. I have 2 questions left for you.
Okay.
The first one is, how has coaching changed your life in general, like your whole life?
My whole life, it means I'm calm. My nervous system is calm. My nervous system is jacked up like that. And I would run around all day, and I would not stop. And I couldn't even breathe. Like, it was insane. Like, physically, what I was putting myself through was it was awful. And so it's given me that back. I get to sit and be and not, and that's just priceless in itself. what was ever, sorry, I forgot the question. I got caught off in my
No,
answer.
just how has it changed your life? And I remember your voice has even changed. Like when we first had our first calls, because you were literally living in your like
I'm like,
fight or
oh
flight response, your voice was
yeah,
like, and it was, you were just so fucking stressed in
yeah,
every way.
yeah,
And your mind, like, you know this now, like a stressed mind, a stressed life,
yeah,
regardless of whether your life is physically stressy or not.
yeah.
A calm mind, a calm life, even if you've got house move, like waiting on the completion and all of that, if your
Yeah,
mind is calm.
what the point is, I think one of the best lessons that helped me and how I'm different is like, well, can I, which is the list thing that you did with me once, which I tried to do with my husband, but it's, can I actually do anything? Can I actually really do anything about this situation? No. So what is the benefit of me getting upset about it or stressed about it? Not really much, which is quite annoying for other people.
Yes,
Because
it is.
other people who are going through the situation are like this. And you're like,
There's a book I'm reading at the moment. I can't think what it's called actually, because I don't usually physically read, I usually listen, but there's a physical book I'm reading and it's got like all these Buddha quotes in. And one of them I really loved. It was just a perception shift, but it said in a quote, and it said something like, I can either be super stressed that the tube is really busy,
yeah,
or I can think it's quite humorous that I don't have to hold on because I can just lean on other people.
it's a complete perception game, isn't it? Yeah, it's a perception game. And for me, like, life can be stressful, two small children, moving house, like I've got ill parents, I've got, you throw everything in a pot, it all looks pretty crazy. But at the end of the day, I think the beauty of thinking, I can't do anything, just going, I can't do anything about this. I really can't. And I've got to stop telling myself I can, because it's not helping me and it's not helping anyone.
Yeah.
And that has made me be able to get out of that flight or fight world that I'd lived in for a very, very long time, very long time. And it was affecting everything.
Would you say which resonates with you the most? Which word? Surrendered, accepting? Which one has helped you the most?
I think accepting, I think I've accepted that I don't have power over these things. And I'm working on surrendering.
You are. That's the next step.
I'm working surrendering to love myself in all of it, in for everything I am, in every way I am, because why the fuck not? What's your other option?
Amen to that.
It's like that you want to speak to the lady out there, if you read Loving What Is by Katie Barrett, like that's another thing I'm really, when I've tried to explain to people like where my mind is, I'm like, there's my business, there's God's business, there's my business, your business, and God's business. And by God I mean reality. So I don't believe in God per se, but I do. So she's saying God could be reality, a higher power, whatever you want your God to be. But so I can only do what's in my business. Like I can care about other people's business, and I do very much so, but I can't change things that are going to be. And I think the realization of that, and then saying, actually, for everyone out there, this is really important. Your body, you are not in control of your body.
No.
Your body is God's business. And that is really powerful. That handing over your body and going, I can't do, this is pre-programmed, this is very much part of my makeup, this is who I am, this is, what did you say to me once? Strong, authentic women don't suppress their natural body size.
Yes.
It's God's business. Just let it go. And I have managed to do that. I have managed to let my body go. And that's amazingly wonderful, but amazingly liberating at the same time. And also never thinking you can't have chocolate again. Yes.
Oh, how amazing is it to just know that you're never going to diet again?
I've never got to diet again in my life. Oh my God, it's amazing. Sometimes I get really happy about it. I'm suddenly like, I can just eat all this food and it doesn't matter.
KJ, wait until, because you've not experienced a January yet in food freedom, wait until
when every other idiot's on a bloody diet.
And then people, and you can see it everywhere in the advertise, and you're sat there like, I'm just going to eat quality streets in January because I can.
Because why not? There's some left over and may as well. Yeah. No,
thank you, Kate. It's kind of a bit of like a all about me question, which shouldn't be the last question, but how would you describe me in 3 words?
Enlightening, powerful, and luminous.
Ah, thank you. They're beautiful words.
Okay, those are the words.
Thank you. And what last words do you want to say to all of our wonderful, incredibly strong, powerful listeners?
I think any of us who are here, and the reasons why we're here will vary, and there's lots of, some people, it might have just been growing up in diet culture was enough to trigger you off into this world. Some people have had wounds in their lives that have, that you're fixing with diets, and that you've been fixing with that. The whole point is you've found a home here in this world, in this body acceptance, in this body love, in this, and you can wave the white flag. You can put down the weapons. You don't have to fight yourself anymore. There is a place for loving yourself, and there is a way to do it. And so just be really kind to yourself and mother yourself. I love that expression. Everything you do, think about the little you, because I don't know about you, but the little me, people let me down. The little me was not, people let me down. And I look and she didn't deserve that. And so why do I? I don't deserve that. I didn't deserve someone poking at me and telling me I was fat. I don't deserve it, didn't deserve it then, I don't deserve it now. And mother yourself, and throw a lot of love at yourself, that's all.
Can I is it okay to put your Instagram, or you're not on Facebook?
I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram, but I never use it because I'm rubbish. But yeah, happy for you to use anything.
Because someone might have a question, you see, they might want to reach out to, that something you have said might have really resonated, and they might want to reach out to you and ask you a question. So you're happy for me to put your Facebook?
I'm happy, absolutely. Happy to chat to anyone if it helps them on their journey. And just thank you to you, Victoria, for everything you've done for me.
You are so welcome. Thank you for choosing yourself and then ultimately changing the whole world through you, through your daughter, through your son, through this podcast, through the movement. How you're going to be in your life going forward now is going to be luminous and lighting. You're the lighthouse.
If not you, who?
Exactly, right?
If not now, when?
I literally would love for you to do this work, the same work as what I'm doing, because you're such an inspiration and you speak so beautifully and you really share from your heart. So just an invitation to, start your own coaching business.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm ready for that quite yet, but we'll see.
Thank you, KJ, so much for sharing from your heart and your honesty and your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So much love. Bye-bye. Bye.